Caitlin is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. The way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team.
Dawn Staley just admitted she messed up big time. She didn't pick Caitlin Clark for the Olympic team, and now she's eating her words. Clark's tearing up the WNBA, and Staley's realizing she missed out on a superstar. How did this happen? And what's Clark doing that's making everyone sit up and take notice? So what's the deal with Caitlin Clark? Why is everyone losing their minds over this rookie? Let's break it down, folks, because what she's doing is absolutely wild. First off, we're talking about a player who's not just good, she's dominating. Clark isn't just leading in one or two categories. No, she's topping the charts in points, assists, steals, blocks, shooting percentage, three-pointers, and free throws. That's right, she's crushing it in pretty much everything you can measure, but hold on, it gets even crazier. Remember that game where she scored 24 points? That's impressive enough, right? Well, guess what? She also dished out 19 assists in the same game. 19. That's not just good. That's the kind of performance that makes NBA stars sit up and take notice. And boy, have they noticed. Clark's game is so next level that even the big names in basketball can't ignore her. She's not just changing the game, she's changing how people watch the game. You want proof? Let's talk numbers. The WNBA All-Star Game hit 3.44 million viewers this year. That's not just good, that's record-breaking. And you know who played a big part in that? Yep, our girl Caitlin Clark. But here's the thing, Clark isn't just about scoring. Sure, she's putting up numbers that could rival some of the greatest players in history. We're talking about a rookie who could average 30 points per game. That's unheard of, but it's more than that. Clark is changing the whole game. She's got this elite passing skill that's just out of this world. Her basketball IQ, off the charts, and don't even get me started on her shooting ability. Dawn Staley herself said Clark is head and shoulders above a bunch of other players. That's coming from one of the greatest coaches in the game, folks. When Staley talks, you listen. And get this, people are already talking about Clark being one of the top picks in the upcoming WNBA draft. A rookie already being talked about as one of the best? That's insane. But here's the kicker. Staley didn't just praise Clark's skills. She called her one of the GOATs of our game. That's right, greatest of all time. We're not just talking about a good player or even a great player. Talking about someone who could change the face of women's basketball? All right, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Dawn Staley, one of the biggest names in women's basketball, just did something you don't see every day. She apologized. That's right, the legendary coach admitted she was wrong about Caitlin Clark. Can you believe it? So what's the deal? Why is Staley eating her words? Well, it all comes down to Clark's incredible performance in the WNBA. Staley herself said, if we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she is playing head and shoulders above a bunch of other people.
If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration. Right, when as a committee member, you're charged with putting together best team of players. Caitlin is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now.
But hold up, why didn't Staley see this coming? Here's the thing, when they were picking the Olympic team, Clark wasn't playing like she is now. Staley explained, Caitlin is just a rookie in the WNBA, wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. It's like Clark hit the turbo button as soon as she entered the league, and guess what? Staley's not just admitting she was wrong, she's full on praising Clark now. She's talking about Clark's shooting skills and her basketball IQ. Staley said Clark is shooting the ball extremely well and has a great basketball IQ. That's some high praise from a coach who's seen it all. But here's where it gets really interesting. Staley didn't just stop at admitting she was wrong about Clark, she went deeper, folks. In an Olympic interview, she dropped this bomb. The selection process can have flaws, and sometimes politics and tradition can overshadow pure talent and current performance. Whoa, that's not just an apology, that's a whole new way of looking at how we pick our best players. Now, you might be wondering, why is Staley speaking up now? Well, it's not just because Clark is tearing up the league. There's been a ton of pressure from the media, and even NBA stars are taking notice of Clark's game. It's like the whole basketball world is saying, hey, we can't ignore this anymore. All right, folks, you heard it here first. Dawn Staley's apology just sent shockwaves through the basketball world, but let me tell you, that's just the beginning. The reactions, they're coming in hot and heavy, and you won't believe what people are saying. Let's start with the fans. They're going absolutely wild. Social media is blowing up with people saying, I told you so. Left and right, fans are agreeing that leaving Clark off the Olympic team was a huge mistake. But here's the kicker. It's not just about Clark anymore. This whole situation has got people talking about something bigger. What am I talking about? The Olympic team selection process. That's what, folks, we're seeing a full-blown debate here. People are asking some tough questions, like, why do we always pick the same old players? Shouldn't we be looking at up-and-coming talent too? And get this, it's not just fans talking. Players, coaches, even sports analysts are joining in. They're all wondering if maybe, just maybe, we need to change how we pick our Olympic team. But hold on, it gets even crazier. You know what Staley said about Clark being head and shoulders above a bunch of other players? That's got people thinking. They're saying, hey, if someone this good almost got overlooked, what other amazing amazing players are we missing? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about one player or one team anymore. No, this is about the whole future of women's basketball. People are starting to ask, how do we make sure we don't miss out on the next Caitlin Clark? Guess what? The bigwigs are listening. Word on the street is that talent scouts are starting to change how they look at players. They're not just looking at experience anymore, they're looking at potential, at those special skills that make a player stand out. And it's not just about the Olympics. WNBA teams are sitting up and taking notice too. They're thinking, if Clark can do this as a rookie, who else are we overlooking? But here's the real kicker, folks. This whole situation, it's changing how we think about rookies in the WNBA. People are starting to realize that just because a player is new doesn't mean they can't be great. Clark's proving that rookies can not only keep up with the veterans, but they can lead the pack. So there you have it. Dawn Staley's apology didn't just clear the air, it started a whole movement. People are questioning the old ways, looking for new talent, and rethinking what it means to be a great player. And all because of one rookie who refused to be over. You know, it's not just about the numbers with Clark. Sure, she's putting up stats that make your head spin, but it's how she's doing it that's really turning heads. This girl's got a playing style that's like nothing we've seen before. Let's break it down. First off, her passing. Clark's not just good at dishing the ball, she's like a magician out there. She's got this crazy ability to see plays before they happen. It's like she's got eyes in the back of her head or something. And don't even get me started on her shooting. This girl can score from anywhere on the court. Three-pointers? No problem. In the paint, she's all over it. And in transition? Forget about it. Defenses don't know what to do with her. But here's the thing that really sets Clark apart. Her basketball IQ. She's not just athletic, she's smart. Like really smart. She reads the game in a way that's got even the veterans scratching their heads. Now you might be thinking, okay, so she's good. But how does that affect the rest of the league? Well, let me tell you, Clark's not just changing her team. She's changing the whole game. Think about it. When you've got a player who can do it all like Clark, how do you defend against that? Teams are having to completely rethink their strategies. And it's not just on defense. Other players are watching Clark and thinking, hey, maybe I could try that too. But it's more than just the game on the court. Clark's changing the way people think about women's basketball. You've got NBA stars tuning in to watch her play. That's right. The big names in men's basketball are taking notice of what's happening in the WNBA. And get this, the fans are going wild. We're talking record-breaking viewership here. People who've never watched a WNBA game in their lives are tuning in just to see Clark play. That's huge, folks. But here's the real kicker. Clark's impact isn't just about now. She's changing the future of women's basketball. Think about all the young girls watching her play. They're seeing what's possible, dreaming bigger than ever before. Dawn Staley said it best when she talked about Clark lifting up our sport. That's exactly what she's doing. She's not just playing the game, she's elevating it. She's showing the world that women's basketball can be just as exciting, just as skill-filled as any other sport out there. So what does all this mean for the future? Well, we might be looking at a whole new era of women's basketball, an era where players push the boundaries of what we thought was possible, where the game is faster, more skilled, more exciting than ever before, and it's all because of one rookie who refused to play by the old rules. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, folks. She's a game changer in every sense of the word, and something tells me we're only seeing the beginning of what she can do.